Star Wars 7x7, episode 2655. Today, I am continuing my series of flashbacks to Celebration Orlando. This is the penultimate episode of this series, and today, featuring Beth Revis, the author of, among other things, Rebel Rising. Punch it. Hey Rebel Rouser, I'm Alan Voivod and this is Star Wars 7x7, your daily dose of Star Wars joy, and thank you so much for joining me for it. So I managed to catch Beth Revis at the end of a panel discussion in which she was participating, and in the press of everyone heading around and moving on to their other appointments and panels and activities and whatnot, Beth was kind enough to stop and chat briefly about her favorite Star Wars memory. Beth, if you're not familiar with her, is the author of a number of non-Star Wars books, including the Across the Universe trilogy, the Lunar Island duology, and the Blood and Feathers serialization that's ongoing right now. But for Star Wars, the big thing is Rebel Rising, which is the tale of Jyn Erso that fills in her backstory between the time we see Saw Gerrera picking her up at the beginning of Rogue One and then leading up to where we saw her in the prison on Wobani. And I'll tell you, I still get a sinking feeling in the pit of my stomach when I think about Rebel Rising, because just the incredibly visceral expression of Jyn Erso's situation as she is trying to deal with life under Saw Gerrera and then life without Saw Gerrera. I mean, Beth Revis does a fantastic job with it. And so without further ado, here is Beth Revis talking about her favorite Star Wars memory. Beth Revis, thank you so much for being on Star Wars 7x7.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So here's the question I'm asking. What is your favorite Star Wars memory?
So my favorite Star Wars memory is probably when I was a kid, and my brother, whose name was Luke, had a Darth Vader lightsaber, and he would take that lightsaber, and I would do my hair in Princess Leia buns. I still have long hair specifically so I can do Princess Leia buns.
Nice.
And he would basically just wallop me until I would eventually rip it out of his grip, and I would just beat him. We only had one, so we had to share. And so we would just run around the field and chase each other with a lightsaber.
Is he a younger brother, older brother?
He was 2 years older than me.
Got it. And does he still come after you with a lightsaber? Like, is the relationship better now?
No more lightsabers, but I will always fondly remember getting beaten up with a Darth Vader lightsaber.
And so now you are writing awesome books. So what do you have coming up next?
So May 2nd is the release of Rebel Rising, which tells the backstory of Jyn Erso from Rogue One. And if you've ever wondered what it was like with her and Saw and how she got into prison, all your answers are in that book.
Fantastic. Really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me.
Thank you so much for having me.
And there you go. That's Beth Revis, author of Rebel Rising and a host of other books, talking about her favorite Star Wars memory. And the interview with Beth is just one of 7 that I'm sharing these next few days, or these past few days, and one more day on the podcast here. But there were a bunch more that I did, and so those are all available and pinned for you to dive deeper with at SWCO Podcast, the Twitter handle for the show. And that is going to do it for this episode of the show. And it just remains for me to say thank you so much for joining me for it as always, and may the Force be with you wherever in the world you may be.
Star Wars 7x7 is not endorsed or sponsored yet by Lucasfilm Limited, Disney, or 20th Century Fox, and is intended for entertainment and information purposes only. Star Wars, the Star Wars logo, all names and pictures of Star Wars characters, vehicles, and any other Star Wars related items are registered trademarks and/or copyrights of Lucasfilm Limited, or their respective trademark and copyright holders. May the Force be with them. All original content is copyright 2021 by Star Wars 7x7. We hope you love it.